Welcome to Deena and Javen at the Regent Street social distancing style.
This isn't the Regent Street.
We're coming at you from
The moon?
the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we are excited to be here with you in May and to talk about what's going on. Our last episode, Deena, we were in a bunker. We did it by Zoom, which everybody's been doing.
We were a couple of hunker-downers in our bunkers.
Yep.
That was an interesting experience, doing the show through Zoom. I feel like it was kind of its own episode where we just talked more about our personal experiences during this time than we did about arts and entertainment or theater necessarily, but it was probably the best episode as far as the feedback we got.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like that. You know, we're just going to have to talk about the situation that we're in. And now we're in this other interesting situation, which is not quite the same. And everything is changing so fast. But we're kind of moving into this phase of we're still social distancing, we're still quarantining.
Far apart, far apart.
There might be a sound lag between us.
Wait for it. Got it.
But, so we are distant, we're social.
And safe.
We're coming at you for episode 5, and we're happy to be here. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So let's just jump right in.
All right. Well, how is quarantine and everything going for you at this point, a month and a half or so out from when we shot the last Zoom episode?
It does feel different, and I don't know that my life has changed very much. I have gone out more for sure. And I'm going out, and we're all experiencing going out, being in masks, and so there's a lot more going out. You know, I have gone out to restaurants occasionally. I've gone out to actually work and have meetings at certain places. Everybody's in mask, everybody's staying distant from each other. So it's this strange new reality that we're living.
You know what's interesting is that on one hand, we know how important it is to support the economy, to support local, to get out and start doing these things. But there's also a sense of not knowing how much you want to reveal about what you've been doing because you don't want to be shamed for that. Right. And I've experienced an interesting mix. So total transparency about what I've been up to as things have been reopening. I've been excited to test those waters and, set foot into, going back to kind of what we were doing before. I've taken Charlie to a few places now. We went to Thanksgiving Point, the aquarium, the zoo. And it's so fascinating to see how businesses have kind of restructured their whole business plan, how they have one-way markings on the floor, places to stand all 6 feet apart as you're viewing animals or viewing different things depending on where you are. I've been to, I think, one restaurant, and I've been to the mall a couple of times now. And so I don't know, it's a weird time to see how things are flowing, to feel like, okay, we're back in society, back helping support, but also how much should we be doing?
Right. I was at the mall yesterday for the first time. I was at City Creek, and it was fascinating because, I was in a mask. Not everybody there was wearing a mask, but most people were. And then there were all the protocols within the stores of social distancing and whatnot. And I found something really fascinating, that when I would talk to somebody, I didn't social distance because I was afraid of them, right? Or because I was supposed to social distance. I found myself social distancing to respect that maybe they really want me to.
Yep.
And that's so interesting because as in my own sort of guts, it's not something that I am personally worried about for my own safety, but I do care that other people feel respected by my actions. And I found that my sort of staying 6 feet away was more about the other person.
That's interesting. I've had the same kind of shift where I'm not necessarily living in fear because I can't do that, but I'm very aware of that the other person might have a different experience. They might not, be as comfortable being out at times than I am, so I'm definitely standing back too, and being really mindful of wearing my mask when I am at the grocery store or stopping by the mall or something. And when I see people without theirs, I think, oh, I don't know. I think that you're going to get kind of a backlash at the moment if you are not participating in the group project.
Yeah, no, and I definitely hear that. I have found myself, so I am not someone who's motivated by things like the group project, right?
Yep.
This doesn't motivate me at all.
Yeah.
What motivates me is things that, make practical sense to me. Here's an interesting thing. When we did the Deena and Javen in a bunker episode, I was far less worried about things like wearing masks and stuff like that. Far. I was basically at home all the time,
Yeah.
except for when I had to go to the store and when I was out on, exercising. That was it. Now that I'm going out more, I really want things to start opening up. And so I want to wear a mask and I want to do those things so that it can contribute to things getting better, and I think if we can get out there and wear the mask, that motivates me, right?
Yes, so well said. Yes, I get that. I do feel like as far as where we are at, this particular time, it's been a while, we've kind of found a groove. I feel like I've definitely found more of a groove with things now than I had the last time we talked. And I think what's become so clear, even more than ever, is how easy I have it and how lucky I am to have my cozy home, still be able to go into work. Family and friends are safe and healthy, and I feel like that's really been a big lesson, is the gratitude.
Absolutely. I just feel like we have to keep that in mind all the time, especially when we are judging others for how they are dealing with the particular situation. Because the reality is, and we talked about this last time, that you and I both have it good, right? Our jobs have not been, haven't been totally affected. We've had to change how we do them, and it's been a challenge, but it's been a challenge that we can manage.
Yeah.
Right? There are people for whom that is not true. Right? Who have lost their jobs. And so we have to be very careful about wagging fingers, toward people who are dealing with it in a different way. And as far as wearing a mask goes, I've been doing it, and I feel fine about it. It doesn't bother me. But there are times, like I think I was telling you yesterday, I was wearing one all day when I was out, and then I switched cars and my mask wasn't in it.
Yep.
And so then I had to do a quick run to the store, and I realized I didn't have my mask. So, I think we have to be graceful with each other.
Yes, I love that. That's perfectly said. All right, should we jump in and talk about theater? What we do here
Let's do,
on the show? All right.
All right. Well, so I said that I've been out more and I've been having meetings, and one of the things that we've been talking about is how do we move forward? How do the arts move forward? The arts, in so many ways, we create experiences that bring a lot of people together, and bringing a lot of people together is the problem, right? Or at least one of the problems. So how do we do what we do? Well, over the last couple of months, we've seen all kinds of theater companies, dance companies, putting things online, doing plays through Zoom, doing readings that you could watch, streaming old productions. But how do we move forward is the question.
This has been such a surreal time as we hear how each theater company or dance company or whatever it is choosing to handle this. And there's no right or wrong answer. I mean, nobody knows. We're all stumbling through. But it is so surreal to hear there's no Saturday's Voyeur at Slack, to hear that Pioneer is now shutting down until the beginning of next year. You told me that Utah Shakes has canceled the summer season.
Yeah, for sure.
And at first, I think we're in fight or flight with what's going on, and we're just trying to figure out our new normal. And I, was waiting to hear what we were going to do with our summer show for Sting and Honey, and it was more logistical to me at first. Just tell me what to plan on so that I know, do I have to start memorizing? Do I need, what do I need to plan? But I found recently I'm feeling much more emotional about it as time has gone on and people have put an end to the rest of this year or to the next couple of months. It's made me really sad and really nostalgic for the time when, not that we took it for granted, but when it was easy and it was accessible and it was just the plan. Just, oh yeah, I'm doing a show next month, or I'm, this is coming up this summer and this fall. And now to have so much uncertainty, it's made me really, really kind of sad.
Yeah, I'll tell you, as I mentioned, I've been, I've had a few meetings. The other day I was down at the Eccles. We were meeting about this very thing, talking about what the possibilities were. And everybody there, we're all in masks at this meeting, and we're all like staying away from each other the whole time. And everybody mentioned how great it was to be there with the other people, to be talking about the future, to be talking about how we might make a piece of theater. And it was emotional. Everybody was like, I'm just so happy to be here. So it was beautiful, and I think a lot of people are feeling what you're feeling. I don't know that you're right, I don't know that I ever took it for granted because it's always been something I'm passionate about, but we do, we take it for granted to a point.
Because it was a part of our everyday lives,
Yeah.
And there was never any reason for it to not be that way until now. I was watching some old YouTube clips that I have of performances from long ago, and at first it was just fun, and I was posting some on my Insta stories, and it was just a trip down memory lane. And by the end, that's when I was like, oh, the sadness of this and the weight of this is now hitting me. Let's talk a little bit about the Sting and Honey update. So you had to push more of the season. You had pushed the spring show already, but summer changed as well.
Yeah, so we moved Black Comedy until next year, and then the question was, what were we going to do with the next few shows, Sentinel and then Sleeping Beauty's Dream. So Sentinel would be going up this week. It would be happening right now, but we ended up pushing it to June, and then it got pushed to July. And what we did is we moved Sleeping Beauty's Dream until next summer. Sentinel is a different thing, and so I guess that goes to what you're talking about. Companies like Pioneer and Utah Shakes, who have shut things down for a season, they're these massive organizations that have so many moving parts to deal with when it comes to this. I guess one of the nice things about being a small company is that we're nimble, that we can look at the state guidelines and the regulations, and that we can look at that, and as a small company we can think of ways that we can work within those guidelines. And so that's the question right now. Will the plays happen? Sentinel is a play that has 3 performers in it, 2 actors and a dancer, and so you've got this very small group to work with. And then we're coming up with ways to use social distancing with the audience. I don't know if it's going to happen. It's all still in the works. We're all still in the planning phases, talking about the pros and cons. But the nice thing, I guess, for us is that we are small and nimble, and so we might be able to do things that Pioneer couldn't right now.
So nothing official to announce, but things are hopeful, and we'll have more to share soon.
Yeah, for sure.
One thing that we don't want to do is get too heavy and what's going on. We still want to bring that element of entertainment, and we're looking forward to getting back into the Eccles space, to bringing guests back in again. So this might be the last, socially distanced and quarantine-themed-ish episode. So we're going to do some fun stuff today, too. We're going to liven it up here on the Salt Flats. I mean the moon.
The moon.
I just want to say that we're not wearing sunnies because we're too cool for school. We just would be totally blind out here without them. It's really bright.
Yeah.
Can you even see the notes on your phone?
Barely. I can barely see them. Although I would like to interject that I am too cool for school.
I knew it. I set you up for that. knew it.
Oh, Deena. Oh, Deena.
I'm really excited for this because if you remember 2 episodes ago, we had deal breakers where I gave you some scenarios and then you had to say if you would do it or not. They were all theater related and you've owed me some deal breakers. So now is the moment and I'm nervous. I just got sweaty.
Yeah, and I'm excited to do this. So I want to start by saying that maybe you guys will think that I'm still not good at this, but I'm not good at this. I realized that as I was trying to come up with these for Deena, I was coming up with more like monkey's paw, Sophie's choice kind of stuff.
No.
Like I was coming up with like, this wonderful thing will happen, but in 5 years you're gonna die.
I feel like I do like playing those games. I like those questions, but that might be a little dark for this purpose.
Right.
A little much.
I lightened it up.
Okay.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yes.
You ready for this first one?
Yes.
Okay. I think this is the easiest one.
Okay.
Okay. Leonardo DiCaprio sees you play Arkadina, and he says, "Who is that woman? I have to have her in my next film." His next film is an adaptation of Macbeth, and he wants you to play Lady M on the big screen. So this is Shakespeare, Leonardo DiCaprio, big screen, Lady M, right?
What's the twist?
Yeah. But this adaptation is his ode to the natural world. So it's like a mixture of like Shakespeare and the living planet. And all the characters are animals. And he wants you, Lady M,
oh gosh,
to be played as a green mamba.
As a green mamba?
And this isn't animated.
Okay.
He wants you in a costume as a green mamba. So you'll say things like, "Out damn spot, out I say."
Oh boy. Oh boy. That is creative. Good job. Social distance high five. Wow. Okay, when you say costume, what do you mean? What's the costume?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you imagine for me a green mamba costume.
Okay, is this also CGI?
Oh no.
Oh wow. Wow. Well,
No. This is Leo getting very creative.
Who does Leo play? Wait, is he in it or is he directing me?
He is going to play the Scottish King, of course.
Oh, sign me up. I don't even care. Sign me up. I will talk like a snake all day long. Plus, Charlie loves snakes, so it would be like his dream come true. I'm picturing though like high school level, some kind of weird spandex like onesie and like my face painted to match my body.
Yeah,
since there's no CGI, but
you'd rock it.
yeah, sign me up. I'm in. I'm in. Does Leonardo also want to be my love interest off screen? Or do we not know that?
I don't know that.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm still in.
Yeah. But you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
It's
with
a
these
chance
things.
I'm willing to take.
That's right. Okay.
Good job.
That was an easy one.
It was. I'm still sweating though. I'm so nervous for these.
Okay.
I'm so excited. Okay, next one.
Okay, Lagoon.
My favorite place.
Lagoon hears that you love them. And they call you and ask you to be a brand ambassador. You'll have free entry for you and your family for the rest of your lives. And you'll appear all over Salt Lake, Utah, and Davis counties. You'll make appearances, you'll be on billboards, you'll have your own special social media account for it.
As the face of Lagoon?
As the face of Lagoon. But you have to do it in costume as a character called the Lagoon Goon.
What?
You have big buck teeth, a long nose, orange hair, and a body that looks something like a purple pineapple. And your catchphrase is, get over to Lagoon. Now come on, Deena. Lagoon for life for your family. Char will grow up at Lagoon.
First of all, how did you even think of this? It's so great.
Oh, quarantine does things to you.
Wow. Okay, wait, hold on. Big buck teeth, an orange body,
orange hair, purple pineapple body.
Wow.
You're the Lagoon Goon.
Is it like a mascot outfit that I step into so you don't see my face? Or is my face like very much a part of it with like big false teeth?
Everyone will know it's Deena Marie Manzanares.
Free admission for life? The Lagoon Goon?
The Lagoon Goon.
I'm in. I'm in. I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I also like that people will be like, oh, she's always like in a dress with makeup on and done up, which by the way is not true. But to have this duality of being the Lagoon Goon, oh, sign me up. Sign me up today.
That was too easy.
Bring out my buck teeth, my orange hair, and my pineapple body. I'm in. I love it. I'm in.
I'm gonna get that costume made for you.
I feel like if Lagoon sees this, they'll be like, why didn't we think of that? And then maybe they'll hire me.
And why wouldn't they have the Lagoon Goon by now?
I don't know.
How long have they been around?
I don't know why no one has ever thought of it. It's genius.
I mean, we went to Lagoon when I was a kid and we didn't have a Lagoon Goon.
Lagoon, if you're watching, here's your new marketing person. Do you like Lagoon, by the way? Do you like rides?
I haven't been to Lagoon for so long, but I loved it, you know, when I was younger, but I have not been back. I don't know if I've ever been to Lagoon as an adult.
What? Unfriended. Blocked. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
I would have fun with you, that's for sure.
Is this my last one?
This is your last one. This is going too fast because she's like, yeah, I would be a green mamba in Macbeth.
I'm like excited about it. Now my feelings are kind of hurt that it's not real because I'm ready to get started.
Hey, we have a theater company. We can make it so. I don't know if I could get Leo here though.
All you can do is ask.
Okay, last one.
Okay.
Okay, last one. Okay, Deena, you meet the perfect man, right?
Okay.
Totally your flavor. He treats you really well, very kind to you, does good things. He's amazing with char, right? He's just like the perfect
Angel sent straight from heaven.
That's right.
Okay.
Exactly. He has a great job. He's very secure. He does very interesting things, magical things perhaps. But as his partner, as his lover, he needs you to whisper sweet nothings in his ear.
I'm sweating.
In Klingon.
Oh.
This is for the rest of your life.
I wish you could see Mario behind the camera right now.
There's no lovin' without Klingon.
Can you give me, okay, like I know basically what that is, but can you speak it?
Can I speak Klingon?
Yeah, like just give me a little, fake it, just so I can hear what I would be having to do.
I don't even...
Mario, shout it out.
Goodbye.
Mario knows how to say goodbye.
Kapla. Okay, so
Kapla. Kapla.
Am I speaking Klingon while we are, or is it all the time?
No, it's there's no lovin' without Klingon.
Oh, just lovin'. Okay, so am I speaking Klingon throughout the beginning and to end of the lovin'? Or is it like here and there, like I just whip out a kapla?
As you know, as you can see, I'm a very imaginative person, but I didn't go that far.
Well, I need to know. Well, no, yes, I'm in. Wait a minute. Like the man of my dreams who treats me so great and so respectfully and is great with char, I will learn Klingon.
You'll learn Klingon.
Today.
Kapla.
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 I'm in. An easy yes for all three.
And kapla could be sexy.
You can learn how to say it in a sexy way. I would work on it. I'd learn how to do it. I would take that small price to pay for everything you just described. I'm in. Now I want all three of these things to happen.
That's like, I thought they would be much harder
They're
for you.
so great. I love the idea of all of them. So sign me up for Leo's movie, Lagoon Goon, and I will speak Klingon. Yes, done. Yes.
Well, I did my job.
You nailed it. Okay, I'm really excited about this new segment. This is called Rapid Fire, Fill in the Blank. And then we'll kind of switch into a this or that. So I'm just going to rattle off some things for you. You just fill in that blank, or you'll choose one. So we're just going to start kind of easy, then maybe get into a little theater, and then a little more just for you personally. Are you ready?
Okay.
Are you excited?
So excited.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how excited are you?
11. This goes
okay.
to 11.
Okay, so don't think too hard, just whatever comes to you. Ready? Sweet or sour?
Sour.
You've already messed it up. Just kidding, you're doing great. Winter or summer?
Winter.
My dream role would be?
Lear.
If I could direct any play, it would be?
Hamlet.
My dream actor to direct would be?
Oh, good grief.
You can have 5 seconds.
Okay, I would like to direct, what's his name? Daniel Day-Lewis.
My favorite poet is?
I have so many. So many poets. My favorite poet.
Choose one or they all die.
Right now I'm reading Sylvia Plath. She's wonderful.
Yes! If I was an animal, I'd be a?
Wolf.
The last burrito I ate was from?
Maize.
If Kate Beckinsale called me, I would?
Kiss her.
Tony Shalhoub is?
Awesome.
The gift I would most like to give to Deena is?
A horse.
I've never even ridden a horse. Okay, this or that. Be a wizard or a werewolf?
A werewolf.
Have your head be the size of a watermelon or the size of a golf ball?
Golf ball.
Wear Crocs forever or crop tops forever?
Oh, good Crocs.
I'm crying. Okay, laugh uncontrollably at inappropriate moments or have a constant whistling sound coming out of your nose.
Laugh uncontrollably because I do that anyway.
Okay, bring back Mr. Rogers, Bob Ross, or Steve Irwin.
Mr. Irwin. Steve Irwin.
Sir Irwin.
I think they knighted him in Australia.
Okay. I love this one. Be cast in a new and extremely romantic version of Harold and Maude opposite Betty White or Judi Dench.
Judi Dench.
Okay, have zebra striped skin or a unicorn horn?
Oh, I'll take the skin.
And last but not least, Team Edward or Jacob?
Oh, good Lord. Edward. He was a good actor in the island, the lighthouse, not the island. I keep calling the lighthouse the island.
I'm crying again. So good. Well done. Was that fun?
That was awesome. You're surprised that I would get you a horse?
And how quick you answered that. Like, you took more time to think about Team Edward or Jacob than you were. Gift for Deena. A horse.
No.
I'll take it.
But the thing is that every time I hear the word gift, horse comes in. Because it's gift horse.
So it's not even personal. I thought maybe because it was the closest thing you could get to a unicorn, or maybe it was going to be like a little mini Shetland pony just because that's cute. And I think that can also be a therapy animal.
That's so about you, though.
We're done. We're done. Okay, to wrap up, this is something that we found we were kind of doing anyway with our shows, and we're going to make it a thing. We're going to always end with a bit of beauty, whether that's something that we've recently read that inspired us, or something that we are thinking about or that we wrote ourselves. So I love this idea because it's open and I just love it. It's my favorite. Now you're going to start. What do you have?
Okay. I love it too. I'm so glad we're doing this. So just yesterday, my son River called me and he wanted to come and have dinner, and we ended up going on a hike together first, and then we had dinner, and we just had a wonderful conversation the whole time. And and I'm very lucky as a father. I have these two children who I can really go deep with. We really talk about anything, and after we had that visit yesterday and he left, it reminded me of this poem by Philip Levine. Now, Philip Levine is one of my favorite poets. He has this lovely poem called Starlight, which is about a moment in his life when he was small and he was just sitting with his father out on the porch, and his father lifts him up to his shoulders. And so the poem is actually from the perspective of the sun, but it reminded me of this poem. So I'm just going to read the last little section of the poem. And it goes like this. Then he lifts me to his shoulder, and now I too am among the stars, as tall as he. Are you happy, I say? He nods in answer, yes, oh yes, oh yes. And in that new voice, he says nothing, holding my head tight against his head, his eyes closed up against the starlight, as though those tiny blinking eyes of light might find a tall, gaunt child holding his child against the promises of autumn, until the boy slept, never to waken in that world again.
Whoa, mama. I say this every time, chills, but full body chills.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
There's something so beautiful about it. His father died shortly after that moment that he's writing about. And so it just, like as I thought about how wonderful it is to have a son like River, that poem came to mind, and I went and I pulled it out and read it, and it's just beautiful. Philip Levine, folks.
Okay, and we'll post our bits of beauty online so people can have that and save that little blurb. What's interesting is I didn't know what you were going to share, and so we didn't plan this or coordinate, having like similar things to share, but mine has to do with a little bit of Charlie, and I'll explain. So this is by an author, Leslie Jameson. She writes essays, and she's written, I believe, a couple of novels. She got the coronavirus, and she wrote and documented her experience and her symptoms, and then becoming ill and being quarantined with just her little toddler. And there's this little paragraph that I want to read that spoke to me so deeply, not having anything to do with COVID, but having to do with this sense of kind of a restlessness or a loneliness that's just always lived in me. And I have experienced it differently over the years. And I feel like no matter what was going on in my life, or even when I got the things I thought I wanted, there was just something that was always a little bit unable to be filled until I had Charlie. And I've never quite had that same restlessness since. I didn't even know that was a thing, or that was something that I needed or would give me that, but he kind of filled up those little cracks in me. But there was this deep restlessness that I could never name, and she describes it in a way that was very relatable, and I read it and I thought, that's what I lived. So she says, romanticizing other people's quarantines is just the latest update of an ancient habit. So what if I signed divorce papers a month before the city went on lockdown? I've got my blankets, I've got my toddler pouring shards of pita chips down the neck of her rainbow llama pajamas, right here in the epicenter of the epidemic. Sure, I sometimes wish my quarantine was another quarantine, and I sometimes wish my marriage had been another marriage. But when have I ever lived inside my own life without that restlessness? It's an ache in the muscles that makes it hard to lie still. Quarantine teaches me what I've already been taught, but I'll never learn, that there are so many other ways to be lonely besides the particular way that I am lonely.
I love that.
So good.
That is beautiful, and that is a beautiful way of looking at this moment that we're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, thank you.
Yes. So we'll post those, and we'll wrap up for today. Thank you for joining us here on the moon. This was a fun one. And next time, hopefully, we'll be back in our Eccles home, and we'll just take it a month at a time.
Absolutely. See you
follow
next
us
time.
on Facebook and Instagram.
Facebook and Instagram.